Each month, we explore transportation and automotive issues that catch our eye. And to talk about it, we are joined by WJCT reporter and lifelong car fan, Dan Scanlan.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dan. It's nice to have you.
It's nice to be here.
So, I want to talk to you about something that's been in the news lately, and we actually covered on our reporter roundtable recently, is the issue of this automated vehicle, this autonomous vehicle program that JTA is creating along Bay Street. Now looking like, at least initially, that promise of those vehicles being autonomous maybe isn't going to happen.
Well, autonomous, yes, but they're not going to be the cubes that are currently being tested and have been tested. They're going to actually use modified Ford vans, and they will have an attendant, quote unquote, at the driver's seat to answer questions because people will be curious, and also just in case. But these systems are well tested. They use laser, they use radar, they use cameras. That said, there have been lawsuits, there have been issues, and there's even the pranksters who put traffic cones on the hoods of these things, and then the poor AIs don't know what to do, and they just sit in the middle of an intersection.
This program, though, seems quite over budget at this point and fairly well behind schedule. They asked for an extension from the federal government to 2030, and the federal government said no. And so they basically have to get this, up and running in order to collect all the big grants that they're counting on.
They had a town hall meeting at the library last week, and they told me and everybody that June 2025, this thing will be running up and down Bay Street from basically the TU Center area down to where we are here in the stadium with the loop around ViStar. And there'll be 14 vehicles, there'll be 12 stops, there'll be some pullouts probably at the marina / Four Seasons Hotel, et cetera, so that you can actually get in and out without blocking traffic. And they say these are standard Ford Aerostar vans, so 12 people per. So it will make some impact if you want to party down here and then go hit the elbow for a drink and not want to drive.
All right. It doesn't help, I guess, that this is the inheritor of the Skyway system, essentially. This is sort of like next generation, the ultimate urban circulator, UTC.
Yeah, and I remember the
U2C.
Skyway, the U2C. The Skyway was promised to be the traffic solver, and almost nobody rides it. But Section 2, Phase 2 will be to put ramps from Bay Street up onto the ramp, the overhead, and then probably that's when the boxes, the automated people shuttles that we're familiar with will go, and those will go to San Marco and all the way to the La Villa bus hub. And then Phase 3, no date for that, no date for Phase 3, would be to spread it into Riverside, et cetera. I'm just dying to see how well it works. Again, people are going to be freaked out with an autonomous vehicle the size of a Ford van. And on board, they're interesting. I've driven many an autonomous vehicle, or should I say I've been driven by, and they have occasional glitches when they turn off.
Mm-hmm. And so there have been some problems, as you alluded to. There have been a couple of lawsuits against General Motors.
Well, General Motors self-driving company called Cruise just settled a major lawsuit in San Francisco where a person was hit by another vehicle and then pushed into the path of one of their vehicles and basically was hit by that vehicle. And in the process, the Cruise system was stopped in San Francisco. But Waymo, W-A-Y-M-O, also does autonomous vehicles, and they were allowed to continue. That said, now NHTSA, the National Highway Transportation Group, is investigating some issues with the autonomous system in Waymo's. So that's an issue. And then, the tariffs that the president is now proposing could affect Waymo and other electric car companies. The batteries are a lot of times sourced, but the vehicles that Waymo is planning to use are Chinese vehicles. And with a 125% tariff, that may be off the board. You may have to find a domestic manufacturer for those.
I mean, the tariff issue and the concerns about vehicles being imported from China that maybe have some disruptive technology, that's all being discussed, but obviously going to have an impact on efforts to move to green energy.
Correct, because now we have an issue with the batteries that are supplying the green energy, the EVs, and then the computer systems, which obviously the president doesn't want here, hence the battle with a certain TikTok.
Yes, and so that is happening. There's also this issue with the Malibu. Have a little moment of silence for it. So Chevy's phasing it out.
Ken and Barbie will not be happy. Their Malibu is gone. The Malibu, which has been a sedan, popular sedan, a lot of fleet sedan for many years, is going to end production. That will be in November, the last passenger vehicle sold by GM, other than the Cadillac sedans that are out there and the Corvette, and even the Corvette now is going hybrid.
Wait, what do you mean by passenger vehicle?
Everything else is now a crossover or an SUV.
Okay.
Take a look at what our sheriff's office is using. Take a look at what any utility is using. Their fleet vehicles are Chevy SUVs and crossovers on up to the Escalade and the big
So
Cadillac.
basically, no more sedans.
No more sedans other than a few Japanese. The Chryslers are gone. Ford has ceased all sedans. There's hardly any low four-door with trunk anywhere sold.
Well, farewell, Malibu.
We'll hit the beach in a crossover.
All right. Dan Scanlan, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks.